Good afternoon from MWC 2026. I'm here together with Angela Wamola, Head of Africa at GSMA. Hello Angela, nice to meet you again.
Hello, thank you for being with us again here in Barcelona. It was a fantastic time we've had here in the last 3 days.
True. So we're here in front of the Africa Pavilion. First time we see at the MWC Barcelona Africa Pavilion. Tell us a bit more about how did it come to that point that finally Africa is represented in such a way?
So we started this initiative about 2 years ago, the group of 6 largest mobile operators in Africa. And we're looking at to see how we can collectively work together to provide opportunities for us to resolve some of the challenges that we've seen on the continent. Challenges around affordability of devices, affordability of data, being able to bring our relevant and local languages and content to our people, because that's part of how you bring utility for people to go online. And so part of the discussions from that was how can we also bring our presence together and showcase the kind of work that we've been doing in the continent. We talked about, like in Kigali last year in October, the handset affordability initiative, where at that point in time, we announced the minimum specifications for a 4G $40 smartphone device. And we've progressed with those initiatives up to now, looking at how we can get pilots started in 6 countries in Africa. And the other initiative that we've also been talking about is also AI. And so looking at all these things that we're doing, we needed a place to come and bring all those solutions together to be able to help the ecosystem globally, partner with us and see how they can collaborate. And this is why we're here at the Africa Pavilion.
Very exciting. So the last few days you also had some meetings with some ministers who were present here talking about AI, talking about handset affordability. So how can you summarize all your engagements?
I think the mission is about bringing the devices to the people. And so governments, the ecosystem of manufacturers of devices, mobile network operators, everybody, government, are coming together to really understand how we can make this happen. So that's one of the biggest conversations we've had with everybody. The second thing is also around, like we said, once they have the device in their hand, the challenge around languages. People need to consume their content in their local languages, and they need to find that content also available for them that is relevant to them. So the initiatives also around AI, you've seen everywhere that we've gone, conversations around AI, what people are doing, AI hospitals, AI vehicles. What does that represent for our people in Africa? But the entry point for us is to make sure that we develop AI language models that begin to bring in as many of our 2,000 plus languages together. So we've had a lot of collaboration around that. The ecosystem of developers, innovators has responded positively, and we're making progress here in Barcelona.
Interesting. So over the last 12 months or even longer, you published a series of digitalization reports for several countries. What benchmark do we see? Is there any blueprint we can, let's say, adapt to harmonize policy, getting rid of obstacles? What is your conclusion?
I think what the rallying call here is every nation that we developed those 10 reports for has a national strategy. And with that strategy also comes an ICT strategy. So how do we leverage those ambitions and the direction that has been already given towards bringing out the policies and the regulations that enable a thriving environment, that allows investment to continue, that allows innovators to understand the kind of problems that will be adoptable by the country. I think those are the guiding themes that have come out, like a set of 4 policies that specifically speak to that strategy and allow us to understand if they do these things, this is what will be enabled and unlocked in terms of the potential of additional jobs, additional mobile internet subscribers going online, and obviously at the end of the day, more revenues for the government towards being empowered to provide services for their people.
Based on your experience, what are the most important policy recommendations you could give from a Pan-African perspective?
I think the biggest one is obviously the fiscal policy, because that's where affordability of both the device and data come into play. Without looking at how incentives around reducing taxes either on customs duties for devices or excise duty removal on data, these are the things that have to be done to be able to reduce that cost. I mean, we've heard announcements like, for example, in India, where in 3 years, the cost of 1 GB has dropped from $3 to 9 cents. That's phenomenal because it's government and private sector working together. And so that sort of initiative is what we're looking at. How do we get those 4 sets of recommendations of policies really specific around a clear goal and an outcome?
So what can we expect for 2026 in terms of digitalization reports, national strategies from GSMA Africa?
I think we'll continue to do those. We're still doing various different markets that we're going to provide the same opportunity for them to really understand where they are in their digitalization journey and how that can unlock the potential. There's Madagascar that we're looking at. We're going to be doing something in Malawi. We're working with Tanzania and very many countries in Africa. We're going to do that this year. We're also going to continue making sure that we continue advancing the work we started with the AI models towards making sure that more languages are crowded in at a certain level that allows people to use them. So we're calling on different partners who want to partner with us to join the ecosystem and the initiative. And so also, lastly, advancing also the smartphone pilots in those 6 countries that we announced earlier this week: DRC, Nigeria, Tanzania, Uganda, Ethiopia, and Rwanda, and many more that have come and expressed their interest here in Barcelona, that they want to be part of this initiative towards making those devices, land in their markets this year.
So we can remain optimistic.
We have to remain optimistic. I always tell you every single year that we have to continue just pushing and getting it done. I think working together, as we know in Africa, we'll move farther.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
That was TechAfrica News from MWC 2026. You can find more on techafricanews.com.